I've been a full-time reseller now for 4 years, and here is everything you need to know to help scale your business to the next level and take it full-time. Like all businesses, I have had a lot of ups and downs, times where I wanted to stop the business, but here are some secret tips and tricks so you don't make the same mistakes I did, and you can become a full-time reseller a lot quicker than I did. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. First things first, tip number 1, let's talk about selling your products. We are quite fortunate to now have many different platforms to sell our items on. Whether this is shoes, clothing, collectibles, electronics, all of these can now be cross-listed across multiple different platforms. And this leads on to probably one of the most important tips. Do not restrict yourself to one selling platform. Even if you're getting the most sales on Vinted or if you're getting the most sales on eBay, you are still leaving a lot of money on the table for other different platforms. At the current time of recording, the main reselling platforms for you to use is Vinted, Depop, eBay, Laced, StockX, Elias, and locally such as Facebook Marketplace, clients you may have on Instagram. These are all platforms that you can move your stock on, and each platform has pros and cons. For example, Laced, StockX, and Elias, these are basically third-party platforms for high-end items that you can sell on StockX. You can also sell on Laced, Elias, and eBay. These will all get the products in hand or authenticate your products before sending off. The pros with this is it's risk-free. The product is going to the authenticators first. They're dealing with the customer directly, so you don't actually have the hassle of having to talk to all of the customers. However, this comes with negatives. At the end of the day, you want to build your brand. And when building your brand, you want to have that customer communication, so in the future, they will purchase from you again. So make sure you are really looking into all of the platforms and listing up all your products as much as you can across all platforms. Sometimes it isn't actually about making as much money as you can off the product. It's actually about building your brand and getting a potential future customer to rebuy from you. This has really helped me grow my business personally, because this has actually got me to get these clients who keep coming back to me because they know I am reputable, because they get a good service, and most importantly, they have nothing to worry about. Which moves us on to a big tip number 2, and this is your social media. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to set up a camera and vlog everything you do, make videos on everything you do, because I understand this can be quite uncomfortable, especially if you've never done it before. I still struggle talking to this camera to this day. What I'm saying is build a brand for yourself. All of these top resellers that you see on social media started in the exact same position that you might be in right now. You might have the same stock as some of these big resellers. However, because they have that clientele, they can sell their products for a lot more and sell them a lot faster. So don't get me wrong, if you feel comfortable about posting everything on socials, then please do this. This is really going to help you put a face to your brand, and most importantly, build up that brand reputation. But if you don't feel comfortable doing this, please still make sure you are posting the stock you get in. This can be faceless. You can also post all the reviews that you get from selling your platform on eBay, for example. You can post these reviews on your Instagram. You can post the new stock coming in. You can even do polls on your Instagram story. Things like, what do you think about this upcoming release? Get some people interacting with your platform, because that essentially will build them in and build your brand loyalty. So utilize your places like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube if you feel comfortable, and just document everything you possibly can however you feel comfortable. I like to call Instagram almost like the flagship. If I'm buying off a reseller, the first thing I do is check their Instagram. So make sure your Instagram is looking professional, make sure you are active, make sure you are posting your reviews, and that is going to build up your reputability. Post as many stories as you can, normal posts, reels, everything you possibly can do. Don't think you need to flood your Instagram page with 6 posts a day. Just do what you feel comfortable doing and make a conscious effort with this. Doing this has enabled me to work with some brands I would never be able to work with and meet people I've never thought I would meet before. But most importantly, it will actually get you interacting with other resellers like yourself, and trust me, you will both be able to help out each other. Tip number 3, and actually probably my personal favorite out of all of these tips, don't restrict yourself to one niche. I made this mistake when I first started reselling, and that was I only wanted to sell high-end high-end items, best Jordan 4s, the Travis Scotts, the eye-catcher items that may have been the hype at the time, but looking back on it, I could have made so much more money and built up a so much better brand if I was willing to look into other markets. You shouldn't just rely on big items like this, big items from Nike sneakers releases, or if you're just currently reselling used clothes on Vinted, for example, you shouldn't just be restricting yourself to a couple brands. Always look for hot topics and finding new niches. For example, I can't just rely on the Nike sneakers releasing and botting, because at the end of the day, there's not enough releases to make a viable full-time income. So now I'm personally reselling a lot of Pokemon, I'm reselling a lot of collectibles, I'm reselling used clothes and streetwear brands that I personally have an interest in, and it almost feels like not a job, which almost leads on to always looking for new trends. For example, we had a massive trend for Labubus recently. Now don't get me wrong, they are starting to die off, but in the hype of things, this was a crazy moneymaker. And these Labubu trends happen a lot more than you think. I can name 3 off the bat of trends that are making a lot of money. Things such as some Pokemon releases, Labubus, graphics cards, all of these are things you can make money on that you may actually think you can't. Don't restrict yourself to one niche, always be looking for hot topic trends, because this is actually going to help you make a full-time income from reselling. For example, my monthly profits range so much, but at the end of the day, if I can make a bit of money from each of these hustles that I'm doing, I might make £500 one month from Pokemon reselling, but I might also make £500 a month from personal shopping, from clients reaching out to me. I might also make £500 off Labubus. I might also make £500 off the new sneakers releases. I might also make £500 off lower end pairs, JD sales, things like that. There's loads of different niches. You even got Vinted reselling for clothing. You make £300-400 of just each of these side hustles, which is really easy to do, by the way. This £300 a month turns into 2, 3, even 4 grand a month of income and profit. That is going to make your full-time income. My next tip is networking and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. An absolute game changer for me is getting myself into a good cook group, and now I'm fortunate enough to own my own cook group. And essentially what a cook group is a like-minded community that supplies you with all the information about these new hot topics. For example, in my cook group, we give you all the information about Pokemon releases, sneakers releases, a Vinted monitor to get all your second-hand stock, random resale alerts, things that you don't think resell, we give you the information for, new market trends such as Uggs, such as Labubus, everything you can possibly think of, we provide you the information. Also, you're surrounding yourself with other people in the exact same area, so it means you can learn off each other and essentially help each other out. And I'm really not saying this just purely to promote my cook group. We have proven to teach over 1,000 different members, and we are rapidly growing, so I'm not bothered about marketing it. The people who join and willing to put the effort in will make a good amount of money reselling, whether you're doing this as a side hustle or whether you're looking to do this full time. We have dropped an exclusive discount code, which is code YouTube. Check the link in the description, find the tier that suits you best, and you can literally join for as little as £7.50 for your first month. Another networking tip is actually going to events. I attend all of the Crep City events and sneaker events all across the country where I'm buying and selling my stock. This has really helped me not only to network with other sellers at these events, but also gaining that face-to-face customer interaction that will really help you gain long-term clients. Don't get me wrong, you can actually profit a good amount from these events, and I always do make a profit from these events, but for me the biggest upside for this is the fact that you are getting that interaction, you are building that brand loyalty, you're building that brand reputation, so these people are always going to come to you rather than someone else to buy their products. The next tip I want to talk about is cash flow. I have had some experiences with cash flow, let me tell you that. Back in the day, I used to invest all my money into shoes hoping that they would rise £10-20 in the next 3 months, and it would tie up 70% of all the money I actually had and restrict me for going for future releases. This was actually when I later found out that if you're not working with huge amounts of capital, which I'm not either, there is really not many things that I will hold right now and hoping that they will go up in value. In fact, the only thing I'm holding at the moment is some Pokemon releases, and that is more of a personal collection. I essentially learned that selling these 10 products for £15 profit straight away and selling within a couple days is better than holding these products for 6 months. And yes, you might now get £25 per product, but you've tied up so much capital that you could have reinvested into the next release. So when I'm talking about cash flow, I'm talking about getting products in and getting products out as fast as you can, even if this means you're not making as much profit. Now make sure you're still making making money on these items, because at the end of the day you are a business. But also don't worry about not selling it for above market price, especially when you're starting out. I actually used to sell my items below market value just to build up that trust, just to get them sales in, and most importantly to keep cash in the business. The last thing you want to do is invest all of your money into a release to then find out 2 weeks later you are still holding these products and another release has come out and now you can't go for them. So even if it does mean taking less profit, I really recommend you recycling that cash flow, getting them sales in as fast as you can get them sales and buys, purchases in, such as new stock. This is going to really help your business, and trust me, your £1,000 capital that you might start out with can easily be built into 5 or 10,000 just in the first couple months of reselling. Now the final thing I want to talk about, which will take a little bit longer in today's video, probably the most important, your business will be up and down. In fact, it took me almost 2 months to actually turn a profit with my reselling business. Now with these tips and tricks, or if you're in my group, you'll be able to make profit in the first couple of weeks, do not worry. But one thing I really do want to talk about is staying consistent, enjoying the process. I have got to the point to be in a fortunate position that I love what I do. I love dealing with shoes, I love dealing with clothes, I love selling products to someone who is going to wear that, making their day. Things like that is what I resell for. I had some hard points in my business. You would have heard me say at the start, I was close to quitting. But what I love about reselling, whether you've got loads of spare time, whether you already work a full-time job, you can make it work. In fact, I was working a full-time job for the first 2 years of reselling, and I could still balance just spending 15 minutes a day on my business. So yeah, understand that you are going to be up and down, but enjoy the process. And what you have got to remember is the goals with reselling is literally limitless. 4 years ago, I would have never have thought that I would sell over 700 pairs just in the last month. And I am no different to you watching. I'm literally a normal person. I didn't have any backing, any investors, any mummy's money or daddy's money or anything like that. It was all built from scratch. I literally started reselling with £100. I know it sounds cliche, guys, but trust me, follow your dreams, stay consistent, and trust me, the time will come for you. If you want to join the KaiKicks Apprentice, the all-in-one cook group that's going to supply you all the information and a really helpful community, check that link down in the description. Different style of video from me today, but I really thought it was good to give an updated state on 2025 in general and what you guys should be looking out for, especially when it comes to scaling your business. Thank you everyone for watching. If you have got this far, and if you have just taken one of these tips that have helped you guys out, please do consider that like button, subscribe button. Any questions you guys have, please put it down in the comments. I will be looking at all the comments and helping you guys as much as I possibly can. I want you to win as much as I want my reselling business to grow. Good luck in your reselling business, or if you're thinking about starting, I hope this video has got you to start. I appreciate all of you watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.